So I would say if we look at this right here, this, the string is pulling this right here, then this string really, is it a frictionless board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I would say something like this being pulled down is M2G, this being pulled up is tension. This pulled up is tension, and then the sum of the forces in the X have to equal mv squared, m1 v squared over r. And so then T is equal to m1 v squared over r. And then down here, T is equal to m2g. So we can say m2g is equal to m1 v squared over r. And then the question is, what is the period? And the period is the time it takes to go around once, right? Okay, so that time it takes to go around once, velocity is going to equal circumference divided by period. Use a stupid p. So does that make sense? Velocity is circumference divided by period. So that becomes 2 pi r over t. What? No, it's just logic. Because what's the path? And then velocity is your distance over time, right? And when the thing goes around in a circle, it does, yeah. Okay. What? That's angular velocity. You could do angular velocity, but I don't want to do that because I can just do everything straight. Yeah. Okay, so then, so we get 2 pi r over t. So then here we have m2g equals m1 times 2 pi r over t squared over little r. So then that's m2g equals m1 4 pi squared r over t. And we're supposed to find the formula for period. Yeah, so t is equal to m1 4 pi squared r over m2g.
Oh, you forgot to square the t.
Oh, genius. Look at that. Okay, thank you very much. I'm like, crap, I hate it when stuff doesn't work out. Oh, I did. I took out the r on the bottom. So, okay, good. So now we say we've come full circle. I take the square root of the other side. m1 4 pi squared r over m2g, and that's what we started with. Okay. On the previous thing, we said t is the square root of m1 4 pi squared r over m2g, right?
Yeah.
So if I square both sides and get back my t squared equals m1 4 pi squared r over m2g, now I can say g is equal to m1 4 pi squared r over m2 t squared. Ultimately, the ultimate easy way is you just graph these two things, right? So like for the box, they give you this, and you'll notice there are 4 rows, right? And so then this is M2, and this is P, or in our case, T, but that's not P of T, just to be clear. So what you do is you just plug these values, 1.4, 1.05, 0.8. Good God, this person isn't. Oh, okay, they're changing the mass, that's right. 0.02, 0.04, 0.06, and 0.08. So what I would do is I would take these, and up here, this becomes, actually here I would say this is m2 times t squared. I'd plug that in down here. And this is going to become my x. And then up here, I would take m1, which is given, and r, which is given. Oh, that's a constant. Okay, I don't need to do anything else. Right, because this is a constant. So this becomes, yeah. So when I graph, this is m2t squared, and this is m1 4 pi squared r. So this value is going to be the same. Blah, 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 blah. Like this one will be the same, but these go up. Huh, can that be right? Yeah, graph to yield a straight line with a slope that should be used to determine G. That means, well, that should make sense, right? Going on here so we can see. So yeah, once again, it's no big deal, solve force diagrams. Then for this, I actually think this Larry did this question. Yeah, Larry's this guy at the AP thing who writes questions, and he's getting grumpier as he gets older. So his questions keep getting harder and harder. But anyways, yeah, I mean he's on the national board and all this other stuff. But anyways, because like you can't really answer this unless you've like figured out the when you get stuck because you can't use this just to solve for G and graph like a simple ratio. So once you realize that, then you say, okay, think about class and say, okay, I'll try point slope intercept. That should be easier. And when you do that, then you get the value, or you see the relationship that you need. As we mentioned, this relationship said, okay, y equals mx, right? So your x-axis is the 1 over t squared. Axis is the m2, right? Y equals mx. And then, once you've gotten this line, you make sure, now please pay attention to this, okay? This is super important. Let's say the dots are like this. Okay, you do not use the dot values unless one of them specifically falls on your line. You're doing a best fit line. They told you it was a line. So you do a best fit line, and then you use 2 dots specifically on your line. You get what I'm saying there?
So the best fit line, the slope is C.
Yes. And then once you've calculated this slope, which is C, you can plug it in here to get G.